Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is Sunday, April 13th. My name is Gary Blevins, and this is Gary and Doug versus the World. Tonight we have USSR 6 and Germany 6 in the final round of what has been a very exciting game. Thank you all for tuning in. We've got a bunch of people here already this evening. We've got a really big set of moves tonight. I guess at this point, every move is the last move of that country, so it's pretty consequential, and the ending board state can dramatically change what the thinking is for the next power, so it should be interesting. So awesome. We've got Robin's here. My lovely bride Jamie is moderating tonight. Fantastic. Kurt's here. Wake Bill. Charles Hall is here. Fantastic. Brian Hyde, General Hyde, thank you for being here. Mr. Coffee from the beautiful city of Chicago, if I remember correctly. Brian Conway is here. Nathan, Mr. Mindblown, is here. And all right, so lots of folks already in the chat. If you'd like to join the chat and you are watching, and this is maybe your first time, thank you for being here. We're thrilled that you are here. Jed's here. Great to see you, Jed. If you'd like to join that chat, we'd love to have you, but you need to click that join button and pick the membership level that is right for you, and then you will immediately be able to join the chat and vote on UK 6 if you want to have a voice in how this game winds down. UK 6 and US 6 are our last two allied polls that will be put out for the world, and you can get a chance to do that and vote in those polls in our Discord server. Now, if you are not a member of our of Board Game Nation and you want to join the Discord server, that is also great because we have the Find a Player project that's going on over there. We just passed 400 people now in our Discord server that are having regular conversations and setting up great games to play in their areas. They're learning about events that are coming up and all different kinds of things in all different parts of the world. I had a great conversation a couple of weeks ago with a gentleman in northern Italy that is working to put together an event in Central Europe. He's looking maybe somewhere around the Munich area, maybe a little bit south of Munich. But yeah, it's just fantastic. And Tom Haver is, if you're in the Columbus, Ohio area, he has got a big special event coming up at Origins this year. If you want to go, if you've got the opportunity to go to that, it is Origins' 50th anniversary this year. And it will also be his 50th diplomacy event. So they're doing some very cool stuff that is special to that. Also, Duel in Dayton. If you are interested in the Young Grasshopper version, the Duel in Dayton is coming up May 17th, I believe is the date. That is correct, 17th, 18th, and 19th. It's in Dayton, but it is not at the same location that we're going to be at for Battlefront Dayton, now coming across the crawl on your screen. That event will be November 7th, 8th, and 9th. And we are waiting on the very final contracts that should come tomorrow. We'll have them signed almost certainly by Tuesday, and we'll have lots more information for everybody about that event on Friday. So big week coming up. We're really excited about all of that. We've got a good number of folks online already, but now's your chance. Craig Jewell is here. Great to see you. Tracy Hyde is here. Fantastic. Welcome and great to see you all. We're going to take our quick break and be right back, grab a drink, and we'll see you in just a minute. right, we are back. We are back. Brian Hyde stealing Jamie's thunder and reminding everybody to hit that like button. We surely appreciate that. Thank you very much. There has been a development apparently in the Discord servers now on the general page. Robin has posted a picture of himself with a copy of Lord of the Rings Risk and the caption, "Thank you, Gary." I don't know where you got that, but mine is still right here. So I don't, you guys are, no, no. But I'm glad that you've got yourself a copy of that, and perhaps you can now stop harassing my copy. Okay, just maybe leave my copy alone. It'll be okay. All right, let's get Doug on here and get the road on the show, and we will see what we can make happen in this particular Doug Thorpe, everybody.
Hey, everybody. It's good to see y'all.
Welcome back.
So when you're talking about Robin and the Lord of the Rings Risk, I don't know, this may be going back too far for some people, but there's this 80s vampire movie with Kiefer Sutherland in it called The Lost Boys.
Oh, yeah.
Familiar?
Oh,
So there's this scene
classic.
where the younger brother goes into the comic book store and he's like, they're like, "What are you looking for?" He's like, "I don't know, a Batman #5." And he's like, "Oh, that's a serious comic book. There's only 3 in existence." And his response is, "Yeah, but I'm always keeping my eye out for the other 2."
That's right.
So like, that's what Robin.
That's right.
Yeah,
Corey Feldman.
He's had that copy. He's had that copy of Lord of the Rings Risk the whole time, but he still wants yours, Gary. Like,
no.
He wants it.
But speaking of prizes, I mentioned on Friday that we had a new friend that is sending us prizes, and we received them today. Normally I wait, but I just opened them like 15 minutes before we went on the air, and I'm just kind of amazed by these because they're very, very cool. So these are from the Dice Nest, okay, and this is the case. They've got a little imprint here that says Dice Nest. It's a little hard to see, but when you open these up, they're like a custom set of, not custom, but they're like a very cool set of dice. These are actually, like, if you look a little closer, they kind of look like they've got a Borg kind of pattern on them. And I pulled one out just a minute ago to see, and I realized that these are actually hollow.
That's cool.
And so I have no idea if I'm going to assume that they're weighted properly because they're really expensive. But I thought that was very cool. And then there was another one that I thought the D20 being hollow was pretty cool. Let's see if I can get that.
That's a neat effect. I've not seen dice like that before.
No, neither have I. I thought that was pretty cool. And then, like, so when you show up to your D&D game, like, excuse me while I pull out my dice, and you got this big, like, fancy, like, let me pull out my. So for the GMs out there, like, if you want to really impress your folks, then this one actually has like a different print on it, and it's like a dragon's head print into it. And I think these are beautiful. And they roll right out, which is also kind of fun. There we go. They're like a dragon printed jade. And they've got just these really, I mean, it's beautiful. They're individual little kind of pieces of art, which I think is really pretty great. And they sent us 5 sets of these. So we'll be giving these away on, probably not all on, we'll probably give 2 or 3 of these away on Friday and save some for other times, because we also have some of the historical board gaming stuff. And Tom Haver is sending some of some diplomacy stuff because we're getting ready to do his, once we're done with the global, then we're going to move into covering the diplomacy final from the U.S. Nationals final at Gen Con from last year. This is one of the other sets that they sent.
Oh, wow. I like that blue. That's cool.
Right? It's like a blue, tan, with kind of a rose color. They're very, I mean, I think they're beautiful. They're very, very cool. So anyway.
Yeah, that's neat.
Yeah. So if you're interested in those, click that join button and you'll get a chance to win them on Friday, or you can head over to the dice nest and pick up your own set of custom dice. Pretty cool. Anyway, so thank you to the Dice Nest for sending those over to us. I think that earns a glockenspiel. I do like a good prize. I do like a very cool prize. So, and I believe that qualifies into the category of a very cool prize. I do not know whether or not you can use them to play Lord of the Rings Risk, but no, Robin, you cannot win them on Friday. You won last Friday. You won the what did he win? The North Africa kit, right? Is that what he won? He did not win Lord of the Rings Risk, but I think he won the
Before
North
it said.
right before he says anything about it. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was the
yeah. Yeah, the North Africa battle board and the extra pieces from historical board gaming. So hard to please some people, I'm telling you, man. It's awesome.
That's right.
Yes. So this, oops, I missed. So I just finished shooting all of the downtable stuff for Song for War. I've got to do the talk to the camera and edit all that together. That shouldn't take that long. And then once that's done, then we will be on to recreating the global game. Robin already did all of the what's it called, where you write down all the annotation. Thank you. He already did all the annotation for that game, which was super helpful. Thank you very much. And so now I've got to go about recreating the game on the table and taking all of the still images so that we can actually then recreate the video. So we're hoping for week after next. So we'll have this week where we'll finish on Friday with US 6, and that'll be the finale of the Gary and Doug versus the world. But I'll be working on the global over the course of the week. And then hopefully get at least, that will probably be 2 videos. It probably won't, because global is pretty long. So it'll probably just be 2 videos. So hopefully the first one of those will be able to be out by Friday after, let's say the 18th, what's the 25th, so that we can do the Friday night live stream. And Doug, as it seems, turns out, has been inhaling tree pollen, which is like a new pastime in southern Indiana. Some kids sniff glue, others huff paint. Doug, tree pollen. That's his thing.
That's right. If I'm excessively clearing my throat, I apologize.
Yes. Any flooding for you? I've seen a lot of flooding. I saw Caesars, is the riverboat there in Elizabeth, Indiana, is needs to work on how much it floats, because it's it's apparently underwater. I got a lot of friends that have worked at that property. So
yeah, quite a bit of flooding. Really a little bit of downtown Louisville was impacted. Southern Indiana has a pretty good berm and some good flood walls, so we weren't hit too bad, for what I know. A little bit of stuff, but I think high water mark was Wednesday, maybe Tuesday. So it's been receding, but still some cleanup to do, but nothing too catastrophic or anything.
So long as you don't work at that riverboat.
Yeah.
Right. Because they're having a rough go of it, for sure. I did see a clip earlier today from a guy in southern Indiana that apparently built his own levee walls. Did you see this clip? It's pretty brilliant, actually. He's probably quarter mile away from the river.
Okay.
And so he actually, knowing that it was going to flood, he built levee walls of his own that are apparently 4 or 5 feet tall, like all the way around his property. And so there's an aerial view of it, and it's just this one dry square in this like river. Pretty crazy.
That's impressive.
Like, that's a dude who thought ahead, right? Everybody thought he was crazy. Like, Noah was building an ark. He didn't build an ark. He built his own levee walls, right? Like everybody thought he was crazy. But okay, so I've got a note from Charles Hall saying that your audio sounds a little bit off. We'll see. We'll bring you up just a little bit and see if that helps.
Some.
Yeah, you sound a little garbled, but hopefully it'll work itself out as we go through it here. Kurt is asking, did we do this the other semifinals, or was global, or is that raw feed? So the only global match that we captured was the final. mostly because it's 9 hours of playtime. And if you try to set it, so a quick review as to how we produce these. We set up a series of cell phone cameras around the table, and we hit record on all of them. And then every few hours we come by and hit stop and hit start again, just so that it's not one big giant file, right? So then we take those videos and use those to then annotate the game so that we can recreate it on the table here. We take still images on the table here so that then we can talk through it. And that is a lot of work. But without doing that, you end up, it's very difficult to follow the action from a multiple camera angles, because like it's the lighting in the hall in the Gen Con is not good, so the video resolution has a hard time keeping up. So it's a little bit tricky, and because it's 9 hours long, 4 cameras recording 9 hours of video is a huge amount of data, and it's a lot of like, so one, it's a storage problem on site, but more than that, when you go to try to turn that into annotation, um, it's very, very difficult, particularly if you weren't involved with the game, right? Like if you played in the game, like Robin played in this final at Gen Con last year, so it was much easier for him because he had his own notes and of course his own recollection of how the pieces moved and how everything went in that game. So it's a lot easier to do that if you were involved in the game versus if I try to watch it cold. Was it 6 guys that moved in? Was it 5 guys? It gets difficult, and trying to follow the live play of other people is always challenging because they're humans, and sometimes a chip turns into a guy, and that chip disappeared or whatever, and so you end up with trying to correct those kind of minor mistakes, or people make non-combat moves during combat, which is also really like, please don't do that. um, so yeah, but that's basically how it works, and we would like to cover more of the global games, but man, they're just really, really hard to do. Landon's here. Good to see you, Landon. Thanks for being here. And yeah, no spoilers in this game for that game right now, please. But Robin was part of the did play in the final with Steve. What's Steve's last name? I can't remember Steve's last name. But anyway, I played against Charles and Carl and Mike Davis, I think, or was Mike on your team? Jake. That's what. Yeah, Jake was on Charles and Carl's team. Yeah, but yeah, so good. But yeah, so we'll have that. Hopefully, fingers crossed, by next Friday, we'll have at least the first of 2 videos for that to come out. And that video, both of those videos, in fact, will be sponsored by Historical Board Gaming. So we are looking forward to making sure that they're. Yeah, Steve Green, that's that guy's name. Steve Green and Mike Davis were his teammates in that, and then it was Charles Miklik, who we've had in here, of course, who's been giving the odds for us, and then Kurt Van Gelderland. I'm sure that's not how you say his last name. Carl, and Jake Smith.
I don't know if I know Jake's last name.
Yeah, he lives in Tennessee actually, but on the opposite end of the state. Anyway, okay, so yeah, so that's what's coming up, and then as soon as that's done, then we'll be moving into the U.S. National Final for Diplomacy, and we're looking forward to getting that one out because that's an entirely different way of trying to report on the outcome of a diplomacy game that that community has never seen before. So we're really looking forward to getting that out to the Board Game Nation community and to more specifically to the larger diplomacy community. So I think that's going to be pretty cool. We're looking forward to that. All right. So Robin, by the way, speaking of Robin, Robin is our commander of the day. He won the poll. It ended up being closer than I thought it was going to be because it started with a pretty big lead for Robin, but then Chad kind of roared up here, but he did win with a majority of the vote, 59% for Robin in this particular vote. which is good. So the Russians' move is not all that complicated. There are a couple of things to roll for. The big move tonight is going to be how the Germans respond to this unwarranted aggression from the Allies.
I know. It's so rude, uncalled for, invading our lands that are ours.
Right.
They were always ours.
That's right. Yes. You're trying to take from me what I've rightfully stolen.
Yeah, exactly. They were ours from the beginning of the game.
Right. Right. Yes. Let's just not, as long as we don't go back to like 1938 or whatever, like it's fine.
Yeah, no, nothing before the beginning of the game.
Right. Right. France was always part of Germany, if I remember. I seem to remember reading that somewhere. But at any rate, yes, Robin, I made Russia great again. Did you really? Oh man. Okay. Yes. No, Charles, thank you, sir. Thank you. We appreciate your support. And it is the support of our members and our sponsors that make these kinds of things possible. Keep the lights on around here, and keep me out of keep Scary off the streets. That's what I'm telling you. It certainly is appreciated. And out of your homes. All right. All right. So over to the table, I guess. Time to knock out this turn here. Before we do that, to make sure that you are saving the date for Battlefront Dayton, lots more information about that coming on Friday. I'll have a little bit more, hopefully, hopefully Wednesday, I'll be able to actually say the name of the hotel and tell you that you can call and book your reservations, but I won't be able to sell you tickets to the event yet. So it'll be a little bit of information. We'll see. All right, here we go. Over to the table. Okie dokie. All right.
Now, if I remember correctly, the only difference between moveset number 1 and moveset number 3 was like one had a fighter in Caucasus and a man in Russia, and the other was like kind of vice versa, the man in Caucasus and the fighter in Russia.
Yeah, I mean, it was pretty close. There wasn't a ton of difference between the two. The purchase was the same, so I've already laid it out. The purchase is 7 infantry and a tank, so there's going to be 4 of those going into Russia, if I remember right, and then 3 infantry and a tank going into Caucasus. And hey, look at that. My iPad has decided that it wants to play with me today, which is very exciting. So that's good. And if anybody else is irritated by the ads on YouTube, I get them as well. So, and once again, I have no control over them or what they're for. When I go back over there, remind me to tell you about the woman who yelled at me about an ad that she saw on one of my videos. So it's kind of a ridiculous moment. But all right, so we got a couple of kind of funsy battles. So we got one that is 2 infantry from Stan and 1 from Soviet Far East to Buryatia because why not? We have what have I got? 4 infantry and a tank on the defense. I do like our chances in that battle.
Me too.
And then the sub comes in to try to win the Order of Lenin in the Black Sea.
That's right.
Very heroic. I just realized that I'm on the wrong angle here. Let me go wide here. We'll come back to just this angle after Germany, or when we get to Germany's turn. All right, I got to figure out a way to control that from over here, but that's a fight for another day. Okay, so there's that, and that's all the combat. If I remember, oh no, the guy in steps over into Su Yuan. That is a win, and I think I get to pull out the extra. That's okay. All right. So we'll start over in Buryatia. You've got 3 1s. Nothing. We have, is that 4 2s?
Yeah.
4 2s. 1 hit. 1 hit. And our tank misses, so using 1 infantry for the Russians. And now I assume you want to press. It's do or die now for the Russians in this battle, I'm assuming. That is annoying. Yep, that's what I thought. All right, so you got 2 and a 1. No joy. We have 4 2s. 2 hits. That's going to be the end.
I was kind of thinking if you're going to roll any ones for their team
I'm telling you,
today,
was the time.
That might have been the time.
Right. All right. All right. So now into 16. This is your sub firing and missing. This is our 2 battleships firing back at 4s. Both of them hit. So the sub sinks to the bottom of the Black Sea. And that is all of the combat for the Soviets this time. Make sure I get all of the combat correct. All the non-combat, rather. So the fighter is coming from Sea Zone 5 and heading back to Caucasus. And then the 2 infantry, the artillery, are moving from Kazakh into Stalingrad, into Caucasus, and from Kazakh into Caucasus. Can we give the Japanese just one more turn? No? Okay. I don't blame you.
Okay, end on J7. Call it good.
Let's do that. That'd be all right with me.
Might have purchased a little different.
And we are leaving the guy in Russia, right? That was the final call there for this dude is staying put.
Yeah, I think it was the other one where he was moving to Caucasus.
Yeah. Okay. All right. And I think that's it. Losses for the Russians. Final turn of the game. They lose 3 infantry and a sub, which is 15 IPCs. The Axis lose 0. And total Russian units remaining on the board are Caucasus. They have 2 infantry and artillery and a fighter. Russia has 1 infantry in it. Suiyuan has 1 guy in it. Let's go ahead and mobilize your dudes. So taking your guy out and adding a chip, which gives you 5 infantry now in Russia and 2 AA guns, because you can never have too many. And taking this guy out, adding a chip, putting him underneath your infantry, which gives you now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 infantry and artillery and 1 tank. Okay, so once again, Leningrad has 5 infantry and artillery, a tank, and 1 fighter in it. Russia has 5 infantry and 2 AA guns. Cool. Any changes to any part of this, Robin? This was your dream? This is what you were hoping for? All right, we got the thumbs up from Robin. Again, Allies lose 15 IPCs, Axis lose 0. And the valiant Russian sub, at long last, heads back to the box. I don't know. I'm just not. It's not that often that you see that Russian sub hang on that long, right? But that's how it goes sometimes. What about the Russian? I don't know, maybe in the Black Sea. Oh, that's the Italians. These are the Italians. This is the Italian fleet and the Japanese fleet here. I don't know if you were kidding or not, but I know that the Russian units and the Italian units look a lot alike. So it is not uncommon for those to get mistaken. So if I missed the sarcasm there, please forgive me, but I want to make sure everybody's on the same page.
I'm sure it was a joke. I was calling it the Italian sub earlier.
Oh, right. Okay, so on to Germany 6.
Germany 6.
Germany 6. G6. Like a G6?
G6.
Okay. And we have 27 IPCs. That feels a lot like 9 infantry.
Yeah. It does.
Okay. So that's our purchase is 9 infantry. Okay, so we're going to, I think we're going to bring these units. We're attacking Poland. Shocker of shockers, I know. We're attacking Poland. So I think because there's so many units here, we're going to bring them down here and fight it out down here. Okay, so let's do. All right, so just for clarity, we'll do this first. This is the infantry and the 2 bombers heading to Caucasus. And that is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4. I have to make sure that these bombers can land after they kill everything that's there, and the German infantry remains to Caucasus. Okay, so
Would be sweet.
can you imagine, man? Yeah, let's go ahead and think about how to do this best. Yeah, we'll go. Yeah, we'll do it this way. We'll zoom down here.
Yeah.
Let me get this over here.
There's a battle board with this game. I don't know if that would help visually.
Yeah, let's see if I can. I have it here actually. I'm just trying to get it all in the same shot at this point.
Yeah.
Okay, so move that.
And keep the dice off the screen. They'll trust. We can trust you, right?
Right, exactly. There we go. There, we'll move that up a little bit. Okay, so we'll go ahead. These 3 bombers that are in the eastern United States, they're gonna chill in Greenland for a minute. We'll move them back when the time comes. Okay. Yeah, this will work. All right, so there's that battle, and then we're going into Poland. The defenders have 5 infantry, 5 artillery, and we're attacking with, we've got 13 infantry total here. We're leaving 4 behind. So we've got 9 infantry here and 4 staying in Germany. We're also bringing 4 artillery, which is going to bring these 4 infantry forward. This is 5 infantry. So it's going to be 5 1s, 8 2s, and then all 4 fighters are coming. Okay. Oh, and the 2 tanks. Almost forgot the tanks.
Don't forget the tanks.
I did that once in a game. I was invading Russia, and I left like the stack of 8 tanks sitting in eastern or western Russia, and it did not end well. It was not good.
Oops.
Okay. Anything else? I think that's it, right?
Yep. I mean, it's about everything Germany has.
Yeah, I come to think of it, there aren't any other units that could attack anywhere other than what we've already left behind here. Okay, so you want to start in Caucasus? Feels like that's where
Sure.
we should begin. Here is your AA. 1 hit. That is unfortunate. Okay. We proceed now. This is our infantry missing, and our bomber also missing. This is your 5-2s firing back. 1 hit. And your tank misses, and your fighter hits. So that's the end of that. That was unfortunate.
That stinks.
Yes, that was bad news. And I went to commercial on my app there, so I couldn't see everyone cheering for the no losses in caucuses.
I haven't seen any cheering yet.
Man. Okay, so that hurt. That was not how that was supposed to go. All right, moving on. We've got. Oh, here, hold on. I know what's wrong. I can't believe you just let me start rolling dice without doing the proper.
There you go.
Now we're ready. My bad. That was totally my mistake. I apologize.
You could
friends.
roll those D12s for their AA.
Right, no doubt. All right, so here are our 5. Oh, sorry, no, your AA in Poland. AA. Here's your Poland AA. Nothing. Okay.
Good.
That is at least some relief. Here is the 5 infantry now. 5 out of 1. Make sure everybody can see the whole box. Yeah, okay. So here's 5 1s. Oh, that didn't count. That's on the floor. 5 1s.
That's 6 dice.
Okay. Well, they all missed, so I guess
they missed. So that's easy.
Doesn't matter. Okay. My bad. Sorry. It was 4 2s though, which would have been nice on this roll. But
yep.
Let's try that again. This looks like 8 2s. There's 5 dice. That's 8 dice, right?
Yeah, that's 8 dice.
Okay, so these are 8 2s. Nothing.
Nothing.
Not a thing. Don't you worry about a thing. All right, so here's 6
right.
3s.
6 3s.
6 3s. 2 hits.
2 hits.
We broke the ice.
Yep.
Cool. Okay, so now you're firing back with 10 2s when, assume you're taking 2 infantry out of that battle. And here's your 10 2s coming back. Here's the first 5.
You need some whiffs here, Gary.
That's 3. That'll be 3 hits.
3 hits. Not good.
And here's your second 5. Nothing. So you got 3 hits total. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so we're taking out 3 infantry.
All right, you got it this time.
Okay, now I'm all warmed up. Let's see. Let's see if we can turn. Let's turn this. Oh, you know what?
That's right.
There we go. There we go.
Okay, we're
Here's
good now.
Here's the 2 infantry. Nothing. Here are the 8. This is 4. This is 4 more, right?
Yep.
Here's 8 2s. Okay, that's better. 5 hits there.
5. Okay, now we're talking.
Okay, that's 5 hits. And now 6.
Give him 3 more. Give him, yeah, hit odds.
6 more at a 3. 3 more hits. So
That'll
8 all day. Is that everybody?
Yes, that's it.
Okay. Okay. So now they are firing back with, what they got? 8?
8.
Yeah.
We need them to miss, Gary.
Here's your 4 2s. There's 4 of your 8 2s. Nothing.
Nice.
Another 4 of, this is your last 4 of your 2s. 1 more hit.
1 hit.
We will lose one more infantry.
Man, these battles are gonna kill me.
You should try rolling them. Good gravy. You guys give me a heart attack.
Oh yeah.
Okay. So, chip. They're moving this guy out. So that leaves us with 5 infantry, 4 artillery, and 2 tanks, and an AA gun, and
an AA gun.
Control of Warsaw.
Oh yeah.
Okay, and the 2 fighters. So it's 2 fighters to Berlin, 2 fighters to France. Is that what we agreed?
Is it? I'll be honest. We didn't talk about this detail. I figured we would lose 1 fighter in that battle to the AA with the way they've been rolling it. I don't know if it's 3. Is it 3 in Berlin and 1 in France? I don't know.
No, I think it's probably 2 and 2. I
2
mean,
and 2.
if it's 3, then it's probably 3 in France, right?
Yeah,
I'd
I
also
don't know.
like to point out that 2 infantry are moving from Germany to Northwest Europe. So, okay, so combat losses. It was 5 artillery, which is 20, plus 5 infantry is 35 for the Allies. The Axis lost 24, plus 15 is 39. So 35 for the Allies, 39 for the Axis. 5 infantry and both bombers for the Germans, and 5 infantry and 5 artillery for the UK. There's a lot of chips back in the box. Okay, so we're done with this now.
So
Okay.
the reason I said do we need to put 3 fighters in Berlin is because when we were doing some of the math on that earlier, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, we were I was that math was based on 14 infantry in Berlin. Now there's only 13. Because I was talking about sending 1 to Warsaw, 1 more to Warsaw before you came up with the idea of Northwestern Europe. So I think that's why. Anyway, all that to say is, I was counting on 1 more infantry in Berlin, which is why I was thinking maybe the extra fighter would go there. But
there's a question in the chat. It's 5 infantry
yeah.
in Warsaw, 4 artillery, and 2 tanks.
Yeah, 542. Anyway.
Yeah, okay. I see where you're going. So 3 fighters in France, or 3 fighters in Berlin, rather, 1 in France.
I think so. I don't know. Maybe, yeah.
Because that's going to be, we're bringing in 9, so it'll be 11, 12, 13, 26. 26 plus 12 is 38. That'll be 38 on the defense. The UK can get there with 8, 9, 11, 14. Yeah.
27? Counting that right? 27?
Well, the land units, well, assuming they bring these 2. So if they, I don't know. So it's what's 8, 9, 12, 16 coming from the UK.
Yeah.
16 from the UK. And then from Season 5 would be the 1 fighter. can he go 1, 2, 3, 4? A fighter coming to Germany cannot land in Caucasus, by the way. 1, 2,
Yeah.
3, 4. Yeah. So that would be. So this fighter, if this fighter came, that would be. What did I say? 16 over there. 16, 19, 21, 22. Max of 28 all day can come from the UK. But they can't do that and Warsaw.
Correct. America can bring 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 plus 6 plus 12, right? 11, 23.
Well, I think it'd be hard to figure out all the details here until we saw what the UK did, because the
Yeah,
Italians
I
are going to
agree.
get to go before the Americans. So if we had to
Yeah.
reroute the Italians,
Yep.
then we could do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, not getting a hit in Caucasus was. I was counting at least one there. Man, that's.
Yeah.
Man, again with the Allied AA guns in this game. I mean, how many times has the Axis gone into an Allied zone with AA guns in it and gotten shot down? That I think that's at least the third time, maybe the fourth time.
Yeah. I can remember 3 right off the top of my head. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe that was it.
It is a lot. Okay. Okay, so let's. So yeah. So that leaves.
I mean, maybe. Yeah. Maybe the fighter should go in France.
Yeah, because the UK can just land on it. The Americans can land on it. If the UK lands on it heavy, what can they? Let's see. The UK comes with the 16 that we said comes from the UK, 17, 18 from there. Right? We'd have 5, 6. No, I'm sorry, 6 and so 12, 16 on the defense. This makes it 20. With the extra fighter makes it 20.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we got to put the fighter there.
Right, because then
I think the big question is, are they going to hit Northwestern Europe, or are they just going to go all in on some of the VCs? Northwestern Europe cuts out 3 American bombers, which is pretty significant. But Northwestern Europe means they got to expend at least 2 land units and probably at least 2 air also.
Right.
So, I mean, they'll math it out.
At this point, what's the defense value of Warsaw? The defense value of Warsaw, we've got 9, we got 18 plus 6, 24 on the defense
20.
there. They can get, we said 16, 17, 18 plus 9 is 27. So they can either take it or they can get pretty close.
Yeah.
And if they don't take it, then we'll have to revisit where we are. And I mean, this whole game plan can change depending on what the UK attempts to do and then actually is successful in doing.
Yep.
Right. So there's going to be a lot riding on the UK 6th turn to determine what the Italians will do.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll see.
I mean,
we see.
With
I mean, that was murderous. The dice were absolutely terrifying in that first round into Warsaw. But now I'm fairly happy with what's there. I wish that we had some more guys in France. I wish we had some more guys in Germany, but is what we got. So yeah, we did realize that we made a mistake earlier. This Japanese bomber came from India. And attacked Caucasus. It went 1-2. It should have, instead of landing in Eastern Europe, Eastern Ukraine here, it should have gone 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and ended in Germany, so that we'd have an extra hit there if it needed to be. And I wonder if it could have also made it to France. It probably could have made France. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So yeah, it could have made France. So yeah, so this bomber should not be here. It should be somewhere over there. But I mean, but thank God that we saved that Ukrainian German infantry guy. Man, he did such a bang up job.
He did great. He really intimidated those people in Caucasus and Russia to make a huge mistake. It was big. Big.
Yeah, for sure. All right. So recap of the Germans' position. Oh, we got to place our guys here. So there's 2 guys there now. We're moving 9 in. So we're going to make this look like 11. So it'll be a little bit easier for everybody to see, right? 2 guys there, moving in 9. Total of 11 German infantry in Berlin. So we'll be able to see. So everybody that's going to sit down and spend 4 hours calculating the best possible way to kill us, you'll have accurate information. Okay, so we'll move across here. The Germans remaining in 4 spaces on the map. They are in France with 5 infantry belonging to the Germans, 1 Italian infantry, 2 German fighters, 1 AA gun. In Northwest Europe, there are 2 German infantry. In Germany, there are 2 Italian infantry. There are 11 German infantry, 2 fighters, and an AA gun. In Poland, you have 5 infantry, 4 artillery, and 2 German tanks, along with 1 AA gun in the space. So that is where all of the German units are located. Where? Take this guy out of here. And that's UK down 3. Germany up 3. Germany, once again, is making more money than the UK. Cool. Not enough money. Not enough.
And we have more victory cities than them. Cool.
That is true. They only have London and Ottawa. For now. We'll see what happens.
Looking pretty thin for the Allies.
We accept your resignation.
That's right. Still open. Hey, been open to talks for a while.
Right, exactly. Okay. So before we move to UK 6, any other questions about the map or where any of the pieces are?
New Zealand, that's right. That's right.
Yeah, that is true, Charles. That German infantry did force you to build in Moscow. So it did create some opening for the Caucasus, but the Germans needed to be a little bit more successful there to make this math a little bit more viable. But we'll see. I mean, if the UK fighters go other places, then I don't know. There's a lot of math to math here, so
yeah,
we'll have to see what happens. And it's going to come down to a couple of rolls here, I think, which is great. That's kind of what we were hoping for.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I think the odds were like exactly 1.5 hits in Caucasus. So it was like 1 or 2.
Right, but not 0.
But that assumes that everything gets through. So.
Yeah. All right. So I don't see any questions, serious questions anyway, in the chat. There is one dude, one UK infantry, still chilling in the Shire, New Zealand. So
nice.
But other than that, that is the end of Germany 6. We're on to UK's final move for the
UK
game,
6.
and it, just as every move before it
Big
in
one.
these last few have been, is
a big
absolutely
one.
consequential. Yeah.
We should have one. I'm not trying to like actually encourage people to do this. I don't know what the math is, but it would be, how cool would it be if it's like one person was like France, one person was Berlin, one person was Warsaw. Like that'd be really fun.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, there's math for any one of those cities probably, but
Yeah.
um, I think at this point we're hoping. I don't want to lose two of them, right? We lose two and we can't win at all. But
Yeah.
if they take them, in such a way that there's only 1 or 2 units left, maybe the Italians can do something. I don't know. It's going to be tricky, but we shall see. Thank you to Robin for being our commander of the day. Let's bring Doug back. Here we go. Thank you to Robin for being commander of the day, and to all of our commanders, of course, for getting their orders in and creating such a vibrant and facilitating such a vibrant debate. I checked into the world's only chat today to see again what the engagement looked like, and hundreds of messages over the course of just the last 24 hours, which is really great. We'd love to see that. And if you are watching this and would like to join that conversation, we would love to have you. Just click that join button and become a member. Apparently, Robin ran his own mini poll as to which way that small group that he was talking to thought that they should go. So that's always fun. But yeah. Again, and Jamie being the bestest, thank you to Historical Board Gaming for supplying the dice tray and lots of cool prizes and so forth for our giveaways. There's our affiliate link if you want to find your favorite games and miniatures and accessories. Head over there and follow that link, and you'll be getting great stuff and supporting the channel, which is fun too. So awesome. You guys are exhausting. Can I tell you, like this is very hard.
It's fun.
It's fun. It is fun, but like I'm thinking like of the um, um, I'm thinking back to Gen Con, right? And when you in your third or fourth game over the course of 4 days, like your brain is tired and you're like thinking about all this math and working really hard to try to figure out the best way to do this or that thing. I feel like we've been in that space, in that like crunch math space for like a week and a half. And
Yeah.
tricky. Awesome. Nathan made a purchase from HBG today. Fantastic. I hope you got something fun, and I hope you used our link to do it, which is great. That'll be a really good test, actually, because sometimes those don't work the way that they're supposed to. So Nathan, if you want to share what you got, you can tell us here, or you can send me a message in the Discord. That way I can make sure that it's actually registering the way that it's supposed to in the system, because we've run into trouble, not with HBG, but with affiliate links in the past where like I know people are buying stuff using the link and credit doesn't make it, because there's cookies and stuff like this. So it gets to be a little bit tricky, but thank you. Okay. So yeah, Nathan went and bought the North Africa battle board and the scout cars using the link, which is cool. And
Cool.
those scout cars are really nice, actually. They're pretty cool. They can call me collect. I don't even know what that means. Okay, so please take a moment now and hit that like button for us, and because it sounds crazy, but it really does matter. The number of views, the number of people anyway that the algorithm sends this replay video out to does fluctuate based on how many likes a video got, which is, you wouldn't think it'd have that big of an impact, but it really does. So if you got a second, if you haven't done so already, please hit that like button for us and let us know that you are enjoying this series. And what would you like to see next? I know that we've talked about the global live streams to talk about those. That's going to take a couple of weeks, probably 3. But the what would you like to see next? I know we had talked about doing this again with 1942 Second Edition. Um, I think Doug and I probably need to catch our breath a little bit, and I've got the diplomacy game to get through and the global games to get through. So we probably need a little bit of a break. And I don't know that we would go back to doing this 3 nights a week. We might do this twice a week, um, which would make the game last longer, but would be less churn on us and the commanders that are involved. Like they're constantly running back and forth to make sure that they can get their orders in and um, and be able to you know follow the battle and try to make the live streams. And we've had guys putting in orders while they're standing in the line at the airport and on cruise ships and on business trips and when they're supposed to be hanging out with the kids. And so yeah, it's a big obligation. So we're just trying to figure out the easiest way to get it done.
I have some thoughts about this, but maybe we can talk about them
Okay.
offline or after the final, or get some other input or something. So
Yeah, so there's a couple of folks saying that this might only be like once a year because there's kind of a big gap, right, between in the off season for tournaments, because you end up with like the spring gathering and then Gen Con and then maybe Origins or something else, or Battlefront Dayton, which is going to be happening in November. So you end up with kind of an off season for tournament play, and this is kind of a good way to stay fresh in that, I think. Um, so yeah, that's kind of Robin's point, keeping us busy during the tournament off season. So yeah, I think that would be good. Would 1914 be on the table? I will tell you, Charles, like I've played 1914 maybe 3 or 4 times. Um, I don't know. I mean, I would not say no to it, but there's two big things that are kind of make that less likely. The first is Doug and I are not experts in that game. I don't mean to speak for Doug, but I don't know that you've got a ton of experience playing 1914 either.
I've never played it actually.
Okay. So there's that. Plus, there's not as many people interested in playing 1914, so we might have trouble getting people to watch, which is one of the things that really kind of keeps this going. So I'd love to do some content about 1914, but I don't know that we could do a full Gary and Doug versus the world. North Africa might be interesting. I will say that I wouldn't call myself an expert in North Africa by any stretch, but I would wager that I've got a better understanding of the rules for North Africa than than most people walking around in the world. So that just by itself would give us a good reason to play that. But and we could play the Operation Torch version of that, which is only 7 rounds. So maybe that could be like we could do that in like a month. Probably. I mean, if we were just doing 2 rounds, if we were doing 2 shows a week, we could play a game of North Africa in 5 weeks, right? Or no, it'd be 14 shows. So it'd be 7 weeks. It would take 7 weeks to play that. I don't know. I'd have to think about that. But anyway, so that's a thought. Yeah. War Room. I feel the same way about War Room that I feel about 1914. I would love to do some War Room content, and I have not. As long as I've had this game sitting in the background here, I still haven't had a chance to play it. It's my understanding. Everybody that has played it loves it, and that I recommend the game to anybody who's into this space and likes a big giant crunchy game like that. I just haven't had the opportunity to play it yet, so I just don't have any. I don't even really know how to play it. I would have to learn how to play the game to be able to do it. So it would be, I feel like part of the fun of this has been that Doug and I are relatively good at this game, right? I hope anyway. And so us kind of matching wits against the world is part of the entertainment value of this. But if we sucked at the base game, I don't know how entertaining that would be for everybody.
Yeah, that would be my concern as well. So,
I mean, we'd make some blunder in, the second round or something, and the whole thing would, it'd be over. And now we're looking at 5 weeks of a game that we've already lost. I'm like, that doesn't sound like any fun at all. We may just need to play Lord of the Rings Risk. Yes.
Well played, Mr. Coffee.
That is a good call, my friend. And I have played that game at least 5 or 6 times. And I've said this before, it's my favorite version of Risk. I like it because it's got a definite end. Like the ring moves from the Shire to Mount Doom, and when it reaches Mount Doom, that's the end of the game. There are things that cause it to move faster or slower over the course of the game. There are like cards that will affect its movement. But for the most part, it's like it's a timed a certain number of rounds game. And that's the problem with Risk and Monopoly and sometimes Axis and Allies, is that the game just drags, and you're 20 rounds into a game and there's no clear winner, and like your wife is filing for divorce, and it's the whole like the kids have been sitting in the car for 3 hours. It's like, it's no good. So you just can't do that kind of thing. But anyway, so Lord of the Rings Risk live stream from the Spring Gathering. Maybe on Thursday. That's not a terrible idea, Robin. I will say that is not a terrible idea. But it would have to be on Thursday, because I think we're going to try to live stream one or more of the games. I haven't talked to Greg about this, but he doesn't watch this, so nobody say anything to Greg because I've talked to him about it. But I think we are going to try to live stream one or more of the games from the Spring Gathering as a kind of test for the Battlefront Dayton, because the Battlefront Dayton, we're definitely planning to stream. We're going to create featured tables. So there'll be one of the global tables is a featured table, and that'll be live streamed. And then there'll be another one that is probably the anniversary game. That'll be live streamed all day on Friday, and then there'll be a second round on Saturday and a third round on Saturday of either anniversary or 42nd, depending on where we're wanting to stay focused. And then Sunday, there would be the final matches for those events were going to happen on Sunday. So we're definitely planning to live stream those, but it would be really helpful to have a test. And I would love to try to do that at the Spring Gathering. We would do it at Gen Con, but the problem is that Gen Con has a bunch of regulations about live streaming, and the internet speed there is actually not fast enough. And we could pay for dedicated internet speed, but it's like $30,000 or something. Like if you want like dedicated hardline internet, you can get it at the Indiana Convention Center, but it's like 30 grand, which is obviously not what we're going to do. But so unfortunately, the ability to do meaningful live stream from Gen Con is not realistic. And so that brings up a good point. Robin points out that it's too loud in the hall. But I will say that when we go to live stream this, you won't be able to hear anyone talking. It'll just be the video. We'll set up a series of cameras and they'll cycle through. So it'll be on this camera for 30 seconds, and then I'll move to this camera, and then I'll move to this camera. We won't have somebody there like following the action, because that would take 3 people to do that, and we don't have that kind of staff. But the other thing is, like, you don't want just open mics hanging around for live streaming, because it's, somebody's on the phone with their wife, or somebody's, saying terrible things that you wouldn't want, broadcast across the world, because YouTube can ban us for that kind of thing, by the way. So we won't have open audio in that. If we wanted to do that, if that was something that everybody really thought was important, the only way that we could do that is to have that game live streamed from an isolated room, so that everybody in that room knew that when they walked in there, all those mics are hot, and anything said on here is going to go out to the wider world. Just having open mics in the middle of a gaming room, it's just, every part of that's a terrible idea.
Not a good idea. Yeah.
Right. So that is not something that we would do. But the first round of that test, in theory, could be Lord of the Rings Risk live stream on Thursday evening. But that might be fun. So, but again, I still got to flush all that out with Greg, and I suppose I should get on that because spring gathering's in like 6 weeks, something like that.
It's close to 2 months, mid-June, something like that. It's April 13th.
First weekend of June this year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Spring gathering this year is I should probably update this. Yeah, it's on my calendar for the 6th and the 7th, I think, of June. I need to update 6th and the 7th of June in Wilder, Kentucky. If you're interested in that event, it's a great event. A lot of the stuff is sold out at this point, though. But if you want to come for some of the casual play, then we'd love to see it. Apparently, there may be a Lord of the Rings Risk game. It's a 4-player game, right? Yeah, 2 to 4 players. So we'll see who wants to play with us. I don't know. Do you want to play Lord of the Rings Risk on Thursday? Can you come on Thursday?
I do plan on being there Thursday, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I normally would come in on Thursday evening. I'd drive up from Memphis on Thursday, but I could come in. Maybe I could come in on Wednesday, or come in early enough on Thursday that we still have time to set it up and do it. But anyway, so certainly a possibility. Lord of the Rings Risk World Championship.
That's right.
We're just going to call it that from now on.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you could. I don't think. How long does the game take? You could just do it Thursday evening.
Right, that's the idea. We do it Thursday night. I mean, it's been a while since I've played it, but it's maybe like a 2-hour game.
Yeah.
2:15. Quick refresher on the rules, and we could probably get in and knock it out. I will say that it would be fun to play Lord of the Rings Risk just as something different, but I will say that most of our subscribers would probably want to be, they'd want us to play Stalingrad or North Africa or Battle of the Bulge or something like that. But I love Axis and Allies, but man cannot live by Axis and Allies alone. We may get in there and just to have something to mix it up with. Yeah, Robin. So we could probably 3 hours with setup, but I'd need to have the game set up just to be able to set up all the cameras first and see what see how that would. I need to make sure that because it would need lighting and all that stuff to make sure that it was actually viewable from the general public. Because fluorescent overhead light is usually pretty useless when it comes to trying. It's good enough so that you can see it as you're standing there, but if you want a camera to be able to actually capture and transmit what's going on, you need quite a bit more lighting than just that. But all right, all right. So now we've got something else on the calendar. That's fun. That's kind of a fun idea. I'm not opposed to that. And like I said, we need to test it at Spring Gathering anyway, so I think that'll be good. All right, UK 6.
UK 6
coming up Wednesday. We'll see. Give me a couple minutes to get the order, the commander sheet up to date, and I'm very interested to see what the commanders come up with for UK 6.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, Robin's going to call Parker Brothers for an endorsement. If you can get Parker Brothers to answer the phone, you let us know. I'm pretty sure they have been absorbed and then absorbed and then absorbed and then absorbed and then sold. And yes, so all right. I think that is what we've got for today. Make sure you hit that like button for us. We really, really appreciate it. If you want to vote in UK 6 and US 6 and to be eligible for, hey, look who showed up right at the last. Tom Haver's here, everybody. Everybody say hi, Tom.
Hey, Tom.
Excellent. Fantastic. Is yours autographed by J.R.R. Tolkien, though? Because mine not. Mine's not either. So, yeah, I don't know who in here who picked up Parker Brothers, but it isn't Hasbro, and it wasn't Wizards. It was, I think it might have been Milton Bradley that bought up Parker Brothers. I could be wrong. I could be completely wrong about that. Yeah, Wizards of the Coast is owned by Hasbro. They bought that years ago to pick up Magic and D&D. Robin says he has my copy and that mine is a fake in the box. It's a lie.
It's a lie, but Gary's still going to check after the live stream.
No, it's still got pieces in it. It's all right. Do I still have my ring in there? Because it does come with a little gold ring, which is pretty cool. Oh, Parker Brothers was a Hasbro brand. Okay. Or is currently still a Hasbro brand, I guess. Anyway.
Fun.
Yes. Robin, stop harassing my copy. Lord of the Rings Risk. Weirdo. Come on now. Leave me alone. Leave my little guy alone. He's precious to me. That's fine. All right. Awesome. So, yes. Parker Brothers. Thank you, Jamie. Google Foo. Parker Brothers was bought by Hasbro in 1991. Hasbro bought Wizards of the Coast, which got the Magic, and they had D&D in that same group when they purchased it. So, because Wizards bought TSR, and then Hasbro bought Wizards, and now they're all in trouble because they import everything from China. So everyone's trying to figure out what they're going to do. So we'll see. Avalon Hill bought Wizards of the Coast. Anyway, we should do a whole video on like the history of Axis and Allies and all of the things that got purchased and sold along the way, so that you can have an understanding of why there are 5 different companies on the back of every box. Right? So this one has Avalon Hill, Hasbro, Renegade. Some of them have Milton Bradley. Some of them have, it's a lot. So that might be just like kind of a little quick, fun 4 or 5 minute video of like, what the hell is this? Kind of fun. Anyway, all right. Well, that is our time for today. Thanks for dropping by, everybody. Tom's Haver was here. Dave DeJour, Robin, Wake Bill, lots and lots of folks were here. We appreciate you taking the time to keep an eye on the final round of Gary and Doug versus the world. It is still, there's still an opportunity for wild
the Allies
success.
Still have a chance. They have a chance.
The Allies do have a chance at winning this game. That is yes. True.
Yeah.
It is a percentage. It's a percentage, but it is there. So we will see. All right, guys. We will see you on Wednesday night at 7 o'clock.
Yes.
We will very much interested to see what UK 6 turns out to be, so that we can plan our triumphant finale, the Axis, the Italians' final move to clinch the victory in the very first game 1 of Gary and Doug versus the world. We will see what happens next. Anyway, thank you again to our sponsors and to all of our members for making all of this possible. We appreciate your time and support. And with that, happy Sunday, and we will see you Wednesday night at 7 o'clock.
Thanks, everybody. Night.